Welcome to day 16 of the 21 Reiki challenge. We will start with the Gasho breathing self-treatment, and then we will practice the distance healing method. But this time we will use it for our past. I will explain along the way. Let's start with the Gasho first meditation, breathing meditation. With our palms, hands in the prayer position, the thumb is touching the heart chakra, back is straight, close your eyes, feet planted firmly to the ground, parallel to one another, tongue on the roof of your mouth. With each inhale, you bring pure universal energy through your crown chakra and your fingertips, and with each exhale, you release residual and negative energy through your energy fields. You can exhale through the mouth or through the nose, but to inhale, you do it only through the nose. It's up to you how you exhale, so let's start. Let's practice the self-treatment a little bit, shall we? Chokure, 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 chokure. Seiki, 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 seiki. Crown chakra first. Just relax and visualize the universal energy flow. Don't force it. Just allow it to flow. Move on to the third eye chakra. In the second part, I mentioned that we will transfer universal energy to the past, but we can do this one of two ways. We can either send energy toward a specific moment in the past that affected us. It was unwanted, it created animosity, negative energy, maybe sadness, or just low vibrational feelings and emotions. Or we can just send generally to our past, so that we can allow the energy to flow where it's needed the most for healing past events, past connections, feelings, emotions that were generated in those moments or with those people in the past. It will be really up to you which one you will choose. In the second part, you can think about it while we do the self-treatment. Maybe there's an event that you want to heal or help heal, to be more precise, or you just maybe don't really have something that specific and you just want to send generally to your past. One important aspect is that past energy healing should be done no more than 2, maximum 3 times per week. A session of 10, maximum 15 minutes is more than enough, because we need to allow the past to heal. Let's move on to the throat chakra. We need to allow the past to heal, meaning that, for example, when we send to the future, when we send energy to the future has not yet happened, has not unfolded. We can always send a lot indefinitely energy for the future for this very reason, because it's not really happened yet, and because we can improve whatever is about to come, to arrive in our life. But when it's about the past, things already happened. It needs time to heal. It needs time to not affect us in the present anymore, because our past can affect us, can influence us from an energetical and emotional point of view. It can influence our present and maybe our future. So when we send energy to our past, if we send too much energy to our past too often, we can, instead of allowing it to heal, we can move those parts that were, those dark parts, so to speak, and we can move them from that place, let's say, and move it to the present. We dislocate them instead of healing them. We need to allow them to heal. And you just need to spend 2, maybe 3 times per week, 10 minutes, 15 maximum minutes per session for sending energy, especially if it's a particular thing, especially if it's a specific event or connection that really, left a bitter taste or made you sad or upset you, made you angry. So be aware of that. Maybe it was a moment of grief, maybe it was a moment of sadness, maybe it was a moment of anger. Maybe it was, let's move to the heart, maybe it was just an unpleasant moment. Each one has their own past, of course, and we have our own elements that need healing, don't we? You can keep both hands at the front, or one at the back and one at the front for these chakras. And so you can think about it. Think of if there's a specific moment or just general healing for the past. So this segmentation, this, let's say, more disciplined, more calculated approach is meant for the past to allow it to heal the energy and information that was generated in that moment, because it was generated. Especially if we heal, that's the idea, to heal the unpleasant parts, right? Not the good, the joyful parts are already there, and there for us to keep them in our hearts and minds, right? Or that's how we should do it, at least. And the bad parts are the ones that can stick with us and can really influence us. And, maybe when we think about those moments, we feel like our brain becomes so tight, and we feel a void in our stomach sometimes. Those moments that really we wish they didn't happen, or at least not that way. So, in order for those moments to heal, they need time, and we can approach them little by little to heal them. This session for the past will be a single one in the 21 days of the Reiki challenge. However, you can practice this by yourself anytime. Keep in mind the, let's say, calculated element, 2-3 times per week, 10-15 minutes maximum per session. to either a specific event or general healing. Let's move on to the solar plexus. Maybe it was a breakup, maybe it was a loss, maybe it was a fight. With someone dear. This is not the only way to heal the past. This is the way you help heal it with Reiki. More specifically with distance healing Reiki. With Reiki distance healing. You can also pray, you can fast, you can, condition. Have the initiative of that those prayers that you are making go for that moment so that it can become healed. For the greater good of you and those involved in that moment. I would not intervene in other people's past unless I am asked to, or I have their clear consent. So I would not send distance healing for healing the past, for a past event of someone that I know, just by myself. Don't do that. Trust me, don't do that. Either you have their consent or they approached you and obviously you have their consent. And if you feel like doing it, you're not forced to do that. It's not something that you should accept if you feel like not accepting. It's really up to you. Let's move to the sacral area, half an inch below the navel. Because it's a delicate process when healing the past. It's not the same as sending for the future. It's not the same as sending for manifesting a goal, which is obviously in the future or near future. Past is gone, but it can influence us. I'm mentioning it can because sometimes maybe we don't allow it, or we detached, we managed to, whether it was through Reiki, through self-assessment, through meditation, through theta healing or other practices, that we just don't allow it to affect us anymore. We are detached from it. It's gone and we are just, that's okay. It doesn't affect us. If you did that, that's perfectly fine. Maybe you don't even need to send energy to that moment. Or maybe you just send it to make sure that everything is all right. But for some of us and some moments that we had, maybe we were not so strong in letting go, or we cannot just forget about them so easy. Not because we are unable to forgive and forget, but it's about the fact that it's just so much, there was so much energy in that moment that really we feel like it can affect us. That's why we should take it into consideration. Let's move to the root area, root chakra. Usually the back projections of our chakras are connected to past events. Each chakra represents another level of consciousness. The heart is with the back projection of the heart is connected to relationships, mostly intimate, romantic relationships. Solar plexus back projection is connected to events that really angered us or disturbed us or created anxiety a lot for us in the past. Back projection of the sacral chakra is related to, specifically intimate connections. Unresolved or maybe they didn't go the way we wanted, or maybe they left a scar also on an emotional level, because we involved both the physical and the emotional in those moments, and we were maybe left disappointed or hurt. And those energies, if they're not healed or addressed, they can stack up in those places, and it can damage the energy field and the chakra, and they can damage the emotional part, and they can damage the physical body in the end. So we need to let them go. And I presented many methods throughout this 21 Reiki challenge that help you disconnect from those moments, including meditations, sending energy, distance energy, meditations with a shadow, cutting the cords, if you remember. Even the self-treatment helps a lot. That's why we address the back projections of the chakras most of the time, because those cords diminish. We send beneficial energy to those connections by placing the hand on the back projections of the chakras. All right. We thank divinity, we thank ourselves, the universal energy, our guardian angel and our Reiki spirit guides for this moment, treatment, and the Reiki self-treatment, and the opportunity to channel universal energy in this moment. Let's move on to the second part, shall we? So, welcome to the second part of day 16 of the 21 Reiki challenge. As mentioned, we will send energy to our past, either a specific event or general healing for our past. It's up to you. You can think of a specific event that really affected you, and we'll send energy, activate the symbols. We need the Reiki symbols for this. Chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. Chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. Seheki, seheki, seheki. Seheki, seheki, seheki. Honsha ze shonen, honsha ze shonen, honsha ze shonen. Honsha ze shonen, honsha ze shonen, honsha ze shonen. Add Daikomyo if you're level 3 Usui Reiki. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. If you're Karuna Reiki attuned, add Zonar, Zonar, Zonar. Zonar, Zonar, Zonar. Halu, Halu, Halu. Halu, Halu, Halu. Heart, 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 heart. And Rama, 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 Rama. Add Chokurei and Seheki on the primary chakras for this. Chokurei, 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 seheki, seheki. Chokurei, 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 seheki, seheki, seheki. Chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. Chokurei, 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 seheki, seheki, seheki. Chokurei, chokurei, chokurei. I'm doing it on the back projections as well. I'm activating the symbols on the back projections as well. I'm activating both front and back projections because we have back projections for this for the chakras. Because it's better to have a small layer of protection before we engage in healing our past or helping others. It's just a decent amount of protection. You can use the pillar of Archangel Michael if you want, as I presented before. But anyway, now we have to open the gateway towards either the element that you thought that you need to heal or just general idea of the past. Chokurei, seheki, 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 honsha ze shonen, honsha ze shonen, daikomyo, daikomyo, daikomyo. For those with karuna, you can add zonar, 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 halu, 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 heart, 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 rama, rama, rama. Add om if you're a karuna Reiki master. And shanti. Anyways, we send energy for 10 minutes, let's say. I'm sending to my past, generally speaking. And I allow this universal energy to go where it's needed the most for my past, without having in mind a specific moment. When it's about healing something, it's better to add more symbols if you have access to them, because it helps heal mental, emotional, energetical layers a bit more faster with a more abundant flow of energy. And remember that those symbols access manifestations, various manifestations of the universal life force energy. Therefore, they have entities and forms of energy and information behind the doors that they access, the manifestations that they access, and it helps heal the process. It helps the process become smoother and everything heal more faster. That's the idea. Again, you can use this by yourself. This is just to show you and to determine you to understand the concept behind this process. And by the way, don't worry about the symbols. I know it's some of the students and practitioners, especially in the beginning, it's difficult to understand, especially the Honsha Shonen symbol. They are concepts. They are not meant to determine you to practice calligraphy. You can do that if you want. I wanted to know exactly how they look like, each line. There are like 10 versions. There's like 10 versions for Honsha Shonen alone. So yeah, go and learn it if you want like that. The idea is to know how it looks like, know the name, know what it does, and when to use it. These are the most important parts. Now you can, if you really want to learn the lines, it's up to you. I'm doing them faster when I'm activating them because I know already I have the clear intention of activating that symbol. I know how it looks like exactly. It doesn't really matter. I know what it does, and it doesn't matter if I draw it exactly to the point on my palm. Really. I just need to know what I'm doing and have the clear intention of doing that. And I send energy for my greater good, for my past. Or if you have a specific event you want to heal, you're sending for that event for your greater good as well. Add this. Always add it. Present, past, future, doesn't matter. Add for your greater good on all levels, according to the divine will. I recommend you do that. Because this way everything flows for your greater good. And not the way you believe is good. There's a difference, no? We will have more sessions like this with distance healing, but for other purposes. If you're in a crowded place and you want to do this, well, I wouldn't recommend you doing this in a crowded place, but if by any chance you don't want to be seen doing this kind of gestures and symbols and everything, so people won't say that you've gone wild, you can have the intention and just visualize. You can, especially if you have experience with Reiki, you know the symbols, you know what to do. You have done this many times, what we're doing now, especially if you have experience. You can just visualize, have the intention, okay, I'm going to send distance healing to my future or my past. And you visualize the symbols on your primary chakras, and you visualize the sequence that opens the gateway in front of you. And you have the intention of sending energy from you're not going to keep your palms, but you have the intention of just sending universal energy because you can channel it and send it through your chakras. I don't like that version that much, especially when it's about the past. I don't use that when it's about the past, I'll be honest with you, but you can. I won't recommend it, but you can do it. It's just better to send when it's about the past, just keep 10 minutes for you and do this, When it's about other things for you, goals and future, that's okay. Past is a bit more delicate again. I already explained why, so you can understand why. Because of the energy and information attached to certain events that were not that pleasant. Sending distance healing to your past can potentially remove blockages that can manifest in the present. And it frees you, liberates you from that stagnant, residual, or maybe even negative energy from the past. We don't need to blame that for our current situations. That's another thing, but sometimes this energy and information can hold us back. We can manifest more beneficial things for us if this part is healed. Gradually, maybe slowly, but healed nonetheless. So take this into consideration for doing it from time to time. Personally, I used to do this for past relationships, connections with past relationships, and it really, really helped me, first of all, and it helped the other person, the ex-partners. And lo and behold, at some point they came forward and said, hey, I want us to be okay, we don't have hard feelings. I said there were no hard feelings from my side anyway, because I did this and it helped me. Like, okay, if you want to cry or to release that tension, perfect. It helps liberate you from the clutches of those residual emotions and energies. Or maybe you don't, maybe you feel like it's so difficult, but you are healing that moment. And they, even if they didn't know how to do this, they didn't know Reiki, or they didn't know this part of Reiki, they will at one point, because this connection becomes healed, these strings become diminished, and they can approach you at one point, or maybe you meet them at one point and you say, hey, no hard feelings, I want to shake hands and stay friends, or just let's make peace for what it was and be at peace, right? So we can be at peace right now, okay? Don't have any hard feelings in the present. They really are. There is zero worth for those, zero worth. They will not be helpful for anything in the present, nor the future. And of course, this involves forgiveness, acceptance, understanding, because that's as much as we both could have done then. And we forgive. I forgive myself, I forgive you, and I forgive our relationship, our everything. And you need to do that, and you shouldn't expect them to do that first. You have to do it if they didn't do it, and they will eventually succumb to this flow of energy, of beneficial energy and forgiveness and compassion. Or they will maybe not, but that's their problem. You have to do whatever it takes for you in a good way, non-harmful way to release and to forgive what was in the past. And this method helps you do that, helps you detach from past imbalances, toxic connections, things like that, grief, anything. All right, and when we want to finish the session, we either do a cross or a large chokurei, the same as always. I prefer to do both. And we thank divinity, we thank the universal life force energy, we thank our guides, our guardian angel for all the assistance and for the opportunity to heal, to offer distance healing and to heal our past. So thank you for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.